Mm. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Looks like we are getting started here by way of Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. We are going to get started here. I'm not sure why I find myself all by myself today on this broadcast. Anyways, this is going to be broadcast number 365. So welcome to the S.O.S.M.C community. I am your coach Santos out of Stockton, California. I'm going to be here 30, 40 minutes, possibly. It's going to go by very quickly. I'm going to invite you to ask your question. I'm going to invite you to interact. If you want to jump on the camera with me, you can. Once again, shout out to YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. I wonder what happened to Twitch. Anyways, once again, this is episode number 365. We're going to be starting here. We're going to be discussing a few ideas. Are you interested in wanting to generate more income? Are you interested in money-making ideas? Are you interested in any of this? By the way, gambling's a big fat lie. So welcome, come in, ask your question. Let me know who you are, where you're from. Make sure that you turn down your seatbelts or don't turn off your seatbelts. Click it or tick it. Make sure your seatbelt is on nice and tight. Strap it on nice and tight, right? Because we're going for a little ride. Turn down the distractions just for a little bit. I know it's hard. Gamblers Anonymous, if you will. All right. So I couldn't. There's Coach Jim with us here all the way from there. So, by the way, we have a proverb. Welcome, Jim. We have a
Hi, how's it going, Santos?
And, see, it's going. I feel all by myself here. We've got a couple of some guests that are looking our way here. Let me see if I can get the music on in the background just a little bit. There we go. Anyways, I thought that we would do a proverb for today, and we would also maybe shoot some ideas, talk about some ideas on how we could generate more income. What could we do if it's gotten really difficult? And we need to really start exploring ideas or resources, right, for generating income. So I thought we'd talk a little bit about that today. And we have a proverb. I'm going to be looking at that right now. So what's on your mind, Jim?
Let's see. So if you're talking about generating income.
Yeah, let's make money tonight. Anybody want to make money? Actually, we can't. We don't make money. We generate income.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess probably government is growing. So I think probably one of the best ways of like making money is finding a government job. Because that's the growth. I think that's the growth industry in this country, government.
In other words, something in security.
Could be the military. It could be the post office. It could be like, universities. It could be anything that's related to government.
Contracting work. If you're, I hear that cyber or internet security is a big thing now.
Yeah. Healthcare is a growth deal.
Healthcare, yeah, but cyber security is more money, I think. If you get into the field of cybersecurity, there's more money, I think.
Right.
It's faster.
Yeah. True. Yeah. I mean, like, I guess if you want to go ahead and do the studying, and the classes that are involved, and if you have that kind of technical know-how,
yeah,
I guess that's something that you can get into. For people who are just trying to go and find like a way to make more money,
like the gambler that's broke. The gambler that's broke needs to make more money, obviously.
Yeah.
But if you're gambling, you can't be that broke.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let
Well,
me
you
get
can
into
go.
the.
You can go. I remember Jim Rohn said, you know, you can go. You can go past ground floor. You can go to the basement and beyond. Nowadays, in regards to debt, you can get yourself into some serious debt as a gambler. Probably, I think. I think casinos give you credit. I think they give you credit.
I don't know if they do that anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
They used to. They would give you a lot. Well, if you're a high roller, if you're a person that's spending a lot of money in the casinos, I believe that they will flip you some credit. Let me get the proverb out of the way. I got a. This is a wonderful proverb today we're reading here. If I can get to it, Philippians chapter 3, verse 14. For those of you that are listening or watching all the way from India, thank you. Love from India. Yeah, and then there's Eric. A couple others are watching also. So many jobs that pay a lot of, or so much BS made up. All right, so shout out to India there. Philippians 3:14 says, "I press toward the mark." This is the book in the New Testament, and I read from the King James version. I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of God in Christ Jesus. Yeah, there's not a whole lot in this world to really be focused on, except for the truth that you feel that you really need to hold on to. I find that in the Bible and in prayer. All right, we're going to be talking about some ideas, money generating ideas tonight on this broadcast. I hope that you're not completely broke. I don't think that anybody is completely broke unless you're living in a van down by the river, like Chris Farley does. But I don't think he's broke either, because if he has a van, he's got to buy stuff, so he's probably not completely broke. So I hope you're not completely broke. Now, once again, gambling is a big fat lie. If you're struggling with gambling or you're struggling with some kind of an addiction that has you betting money, stick with us. Stay here. Make sure you grab a pen or two pens, just in case one runs out of ink, so you can take some notes for yourself. You never know what idea might pop into your head. You never know what idea may pop into your head. From that idea, you may be led, and that'll help you in life get ahead, so you're not dead. All right, Jim, go ahead. Laura.
Yeah. So if we're talking about making money, this is what I'm thinking. It's like if you want to go make money, you got to go ahead and either be a laborer at a low skill deal, which is, I guess the jobs are probably plentiful, but they don't pay much. You better have, you better have some kind of skill that's in demand, um, or you got to have connections. Connections.
Now,
I
what do you
mean,
mean by connections, Jim?
connections is like if you
Resources,
when I say
resources.
connections is you better know people who have the ability to open up doors for you. Let's say that you are politically connected, okay, and you know some people and you're willing to go out and do the things that those people want you to do. Yeah, yeah, you can go ahead and get those kinds of jobs, high paying jobs. Um, it could be, I mean, like Eric said, that there's a lot of BS jobs, that are just made up and there's lots of money for it. I mean,
Yeah.
I think about the political arena right now? There's tons of money going into politics, advertising, and campaigning.
Hmm.
I mean, like if you are connected, I guess, in that political arena, you probably can go and find certain positions
That's
that can
one
go
way you
ahead
can
and
do it.
make you money, I guess. I mean, you can be I don't know, some type of organizer, you know. Um,
Can you be depressed if you're losing money from gambling? Let's say you know you I remember I remember there was this young guy that was running for. He was actually running for mayor for this city here in Stockton, and I don't know how I met this guy, but I thought he was interesting. He was a Marine. That's what it was. He was a Marine. Somehow we met up, and so come to find out, this young Hispanic guy wanted to go for. He was running for mayor here in Stockton. He didn't make it. I remember in one scene. It was a Saturday morning, I believe. I was in one of the offices with some other people, and there was some gangsters in there. I didn't know they were gangsters. I was just being friendly, so I started asking questions. Well, I thought it was all politics and all, and good and all. Well, one of the guys in that group didn't take it too well that I was asking questions, and he started. It almost ended bad. Anyways, it didn't end bad. That was just so. If you're out there trying to generate some income from knocking on doors or passing out flyers, be careful who you crowd up with.
Yeah, I mean, like another thing is like, I guess going to the topic of like government, I see that our county, is putting up signs at the medians of intersections saying, "Don't give to the homeless. Don't give handouts to the homeless.
Yeah.
Instead, give to organizations that help the needy." There's government right there, So if you want to make money, that kind of stuff, just I guess those kinds of social service organizations, those are the ones that are bringing money. Nonprofits. If you can get a deal going on, nonprofit, you can organize something, and
there's all kinds of ways.
Right
now, it's hard to generate income. I would say it's hard to generate income or try to come up with ideas, or even want to be in a community like this for 40 minutes or whatever if you're depressed. But not necessarily, right? I mean, you could be depressed, and you can stumble upon this program, and who knows, there might be something said. I might say something, you might say something, someone in the audience, in our studio audience, might share something, and it was well worth the 40 minutes of being here. Generally, I would say that depression is a result of not having enough money. It could be a little bit, right? There's other symptoms to not having income, but depression is one of the ones that are at the top. So it's kind of difficult. It is a challenge for you to go out and try to generate income, even though that's exactly what you do when you take losses. India was sharing here that India was taking losses. I don't know about how it is in India. I know it's not easy to generate income. And maybe in certain places. Overall, India and some of these other countries further out than the United States have a very, very challenging time. So bringing gambling or buying lottery tickets or betting on, I imagine they probably bet on animals in those other countries, whatever they can do. All that does is make it worse, right? We're talking about generating income. We're talking about generating income ideas. We're talking about resources. Jim was bringing up the fact we're talking about depression and trying to make something happen, right? You're depressed. You got no money. You got a lot of month left over. I remember the first time I heard that. You've heard this before, right? You have more month at the end of the money. So you have more month at the end of the money.
Sometimes I think
Eric,
that if you are having some type of an addiction, you're spending a lot of time in that addiction. Why not instead fill that time with productivity, with work, Instead, you'll be making money. Instead of losing money, wasting your time, wasting your energy, wasting your life, at least you'll be doing something that adds value to society, and you're making money,
But I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
You can go to Home Depot, buy a weed whacker, get a rake, get a shovel, get a garbage can, and just go on to Craigslist and Facebook and say, you know what, I do yard work, $20 an hour. I can go ahead and clean up your yard. Boom, right there.
That's number 4 on my list, Jim.
Oh yeah,
Start a little business. Start a
right.
business. Right.
So I mean, it's like, but the problem is that something like that. That's labor work, but that's that's something that you can do yourself. We see like a lot of people discouraged because they say, I can't find a job. Everything is being taken up by AI. Yeah, there's nothing available. Everything is just so automated now that jobs are kind of scarce. In, I guess you can say, the private sector. But I don't know. There's a lot of people who need help and stuff, right? And like I said, labor is something that anyone can do, I guess. Mostly anyone. Labor. It's not the most
what
glamorous.
if you can't? What if you can't do physical labor?
If you can't do physical labor, right, you can go ahead and look at government opportunities as far as was it grants or maybe disability or there's always programs that can go ahead and give people money. I believe the government provides, I think. It's
So
like maybe some people don't like it, but hey, that's just another way of making money, I mean, it's all about being resourceful, it's like, where's the money? Instead of being judgmental, just try to be resourceful. It's like, okay,
yeah,
gonna look for the money.
What about the fact that you stop the gamble, right? You just break the gamble in half. You get so angry, you turn into the Green Hulk, and you say, I've had enough.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
you
it's
stop
like,
the gamble. Is that a way to generate income?
Well, it stops the bleeding,
Yeah,
it stops the bleeding, and for a little bit that can feel great, but it's like you got to start making money, right? You got to start making money, and in fact, I think if you had that addiction problem, you probably need to go ahead and start digging yourself out of a hole. So that means that you better go ahead and get to work. Right? You better go out and find a job. You better go ahead and find an opportunity. You got to babysit. You better go ahead and see the dog walk, scoop up dog poop,
and
whatever it takes.
Yeah. Maybe you can start you never know. There's all kinds of ideas, really, here in the United States. The thing is, it's like, I believe that we've become too complacent. There's all kinds of ways to do. You just have to be, again, you got to want it, right? You could take on a second job. Somebody else can't take on a second job. Just seeking resources is a job, Jim. You know that? Seeking resources is actually a job.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have a job, or you need to bring in more bacon, digging through resources.
Let me tell you, the street people, the homeless people on the medians, that's a job right there when they're begging. I mean, in the heat, walking, putting themselves out there. I mean, basically, you are, as I guess, like a panhandler, trying to go ahead and develop value within the generosity of the drivers on the street.
Yeah.
You're basically trying to bring that generosity out of those people who are driving and at those stoplights, So, I mean, that's their job, and that's work, Even panhandling is a job.
Yeah. If you do it right, you make a lot of money at it.
Sure. Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of it is moving into the business sectors. Like before, it was just out in the corners here and there. Now it's you got people in the lobby in these restaurants.
That's the creativity, right? That is the ingenuity of the homeless person. It's like, okay, so where's the money? where's the money? Where can I go? Where do I get the greatest bang for my buck? I mean, not on the boonies, not in the poor part of town. Of course, sometimes in the poor neighborhoods, more people are more generous. I see that the people in the cars, they tend to give. I don't know. That's interesting, but I guess that's just kind of up to the homeless person to kind of study and figure out. And that's the thing. It's a study, right?
Yeah,
Trying to
because
generate income.
you see them moving around. When they know that they're not getting paid somewhere, they move around. And that's the thing, you can give a man a fish and he'll come back the next day or the other day and he'll want another fish. Our goal is to be able to get enough belief within ourselves and be able to make contact with resources. And you said this earlier, people. Sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Right.
It's who you know that can actually help you.
So it's all about the skills that we develop within ourselves. Skills of what? Confidence, right? That kind of character. If you don't have any confidence within yourself, there's no way you're going to go up to someone and ask, for any kind of opportunity. So that's, it kind of starts with yourself. Look at yourself and say, you know what? If I want to go ahead and get to where the money is, I need to go ahead and make myself more valuable. What are the qualities that make me more attractive so that people, will want to go and come to me and give me their money, And I think the problem is we have a tendency to go ahead and believe that the world owes us something. The world owes us something.
Yeah, either the world owes us something or we don't have enough time.
Yeah.
We act like we don't have enough time to plant a seed, plant a garden.
Right.
Well, I got to start this. It's going to take me an hour this week and then 2 hours this week. And then, but then in 2 weeks, you'll have a nice harvest. You'll have an income. You'll have a check. You'll have something going for you. That's going to give you more hope.
Yeah. I see nowadays, I guess it's more challenging compared to, the last century. It seems like now that, you can't even afford housing anymore, without working a couple jobs. They say go to college. You go to college, you'll go ahead and be able to get a good job. Not anymore. It's like people kind of got stuck into that belief. Maybe in the 20th century that was okay, but now, no. I mean, that's not it. It's there's a lot of technology that has taken the place of people.
That's another thing too that we talked about this earlier. Cybersecurity. If we're not careful, technology will take over and will bypass some of us because there's learning. You got a phone. This is not a phone. It's actually a computer. And allows you to make phone calls. Well, you have to keep up on this knowledge. This isn't something, well, you just, once, what is it? A once for all, right? You get your phone, you get your one, and it's a once for all. Every phone has features. It has different. It's always a learning. We're always learning, and if we're not careful, we can get to a point where we become hardened and we don't want to learn anything. You have to be willing to ask questions. It goes back to asking good questions, asking yourself good questions, putting yourself in a situation. Watchers, somebody, I don't know if you're coming in by YouTube or by Facebook, you suggest something. We're already suggesting many things on this podcast. Hopefully you're taking some notes, but your mind is going also, right? You got to count on your mind. God gave you a mind. God gave us a mind. God gave us a community. God gave us this time. God, I believe, has given it to us. What we do with it determines where we go, what type of a harvest you're going to have.
Yeah.
Right. In 3 months and 6 months, what kind of a harvest? India is looking for ideas. What can you do? Well, you can come to a place like this and you can get ideas to come to your mind, and then you got to write them down. And then you got to get to the next step.
Yeah, and Watcher, Watcher, I see that you work many hours and you lost all your savings. And I don't know how old you are. Um, sometimes you have to go and think maybe there's a reason why I had this happen. Perhaps I need to go ahead and start moving in a new direction. And I've seen people come back. I've seen people come back from the depths of not having anything. It's painful, yes, but I think if you believe in God, you you have to believe that there's these things happen for a reason, and it's like pain that is supposed to push you in another direction, a new direction. It's kind of forcing you to find new ways, you know, and as the pain increases, it's supposed to go ahead and push you to making those changes to move in a new direction. Um, it's not fun. It's not fun, but it's something that we have to go out and say, uh, I have to figure this out. I will figure this out. I'm capable of figuring this out. I can choose to figure this out, and I will figure this out. I mean, I guess it starts with that kind of attitude. You got to have a change in attitude. You have to have that belief you were talking about, Santos. I believe I can get myself out of this hole. If I have to work 18 hours every day, I will, but I'm going to go ahead and make sure I'm not going to make the mistakes that I did. And this situation that I screwed up in, it's actually going to make me stronger, better. I'm glad this happened to me. That's an attitude, right? That's a choice and attitude. You get pumped up out of that. I mean, like, what else is there? Get into more deeper despair, hate yourself, give up,
Yeah, Zig Ziglar said,
way, right?
Yeah, Zig Ziglar said about the
Imagine your
attitude.
life, Imagine your life. If
He talked about attitude and altitude. Zig
I'm
Ziglar.
going to figure this out. I will figure this out. I will figure this out. I screwed up, but I'm going to go and use this as a stepping stone.
Mhm.
Why not?
There's a resource right there. Your own self-talk, right? You can turn to your own self-talk and begin manipulating yourself in the right direction, because you're already manipulating yourself in the wrong direction, whether you want to accept it or not. Your brain plays tricks on you. Your brain plays tricks on you, whether you want to believe that or not. It does. Sometimes we find ourselves doing something that we really don't want to be doing. The trick is the brain, the dopamine is very, very potent. That sting has that injection, that serum that's inside of us. We got to get an antidote, right, to get that serum out. What's your anecdote?
I follow this guy on YouTube. His name is Adam Bees. He said some violent things against the IRS, and then he got sent to federal prison for 18 months. He lost everything. He's homeless right now. But it's amazing. This guy, he's pushing forward. He's applying for jobs, staying at a shelter, making YouTube videos, growing his subscribership. And this guy lost everything. He lost his home, he lost his kids, he lost his cars. But this guy, it's like he's choosing to say, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and make all those people who left me for dead. They're gonna go ahead and see, what I'm gonna become, and they're gonna go ahead and say, oh shoot, he's basically gonna own them. I mean, that's a choice. That's a choice. You can go ahead and go into the dark depths of despair, and I think that's where the devil wants you. That's where the devil wants you. You know, when you call out a pity party, right? Guess who shows up? It's the devil. It's the demons, right?
There's no
He's gonna
hope.
be the first one there,
There's no hope there.
right?
There's
Yeah.
no hope. No hope. Let me see. Is there a question? Once again, I want to thank you. Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Barry, Laura, Eric, Watcher, India. We've got a few viewers tonight here. And Eli, he's all lovey-dovey tonight here with me. Huh. He's just trying to find a way for me to pet him on. Yeah. Pet the little guy.
Yeah. Eric
Yeah.
talks about like it's easy to be negative in this corrupt world. Yeah, and I think, these are those distractions that we talk about. It's like, yeah, there's like all these things that want to go and take us off of our focus. We got to focus on what
Yeah.
we need to do, right? What do we need to do? Is it family that we need to go and take care of? Is it our health that we need to take care of? Is it our community, right? We got to go ahead and focus on that. We got to, it's growth, making
Yeah.
ourselves better. Is that the focus? Focus
You
on
have to have a good mind.
stuff.
You have to have a good mind. Your mind has to be straight
Yeah.
in order for you to
It's easy
generate
to
more
get
income.
distracted. It's easy to get distracted, right, Santos?
Yeah.
I mean, like people distract us, our own insecurities distract us, the media distracts us, politics distract us.
Gambling distracts you
Yeah.
because that is also robbing you of your resources. Right?
So
We're talking
it's
about
like,
generating income tonight, by the way. The topic is, generating income, ideas, resources. What do you do when you're broke?
I think you got
Well,
to pray.
we're not
You
completely.
got to pray. You got to go out and meditate. You got to go ahead.
If you're
and
broke,
get
Jim, you need some crazy glue.
Yeah, if you're broke, you need to go ahead and go to that one place, to work.
Crazy glue. You got to get glued back together.
Right.
So
yeah,
we have ideas. We have resources. Either that, or if we don't have a need to generate more income, then what do we? My question. What do we have a need? What do we have a need of?
Yeah.
Gambling's a big fat lie.
It's a drain. It's a drain.
Gambling is a big fat lie. Laura says, I've got 4 cats and 1 dog. Mark says, somebody's good people. Hopefully we're all good people. Bob says, create a mantra. The thing that needs to be done here is we're all good at something. We all have ideas. You have ideas, you have experiences, you have little accomplishments. You have to look at what you've accomplished. You have to look at what you can do, where you can go, what you can start with what you have. Sometimes you have to take on a second job because that's the only choice that you have to generate more income, right? And you might be able to do it. You might have the means for it. You can do that. Others can't. You might have to get into sales. What kind of sales? What would you sell if you could sell anything? What would you sell? Would you sell a service? Would you sell a product? What would you sell if you needed to generate more income? He says, how much is a good? Well, I would say at least a good six months of savings or something. Which, how much is a good ample reserve in savings? Nowadays, it's just not easy to have 6 months or a year in savings anymore. You run into situations and you tap into your savings. I guarantee you, if you're gambling, if you are gambling like in a casino, slot machines, or you're playing the craps, or you're playing in the drock. You're in the drock room playing cards. Oh, you're in need of money. You're losing money. You're giving it away. It's flowing out of you like a a leaky sieve, a faucet that's leaking plenty of water. After a while, it's just gone. It's gonna end up somewhere, a big puddle somewhere, leaking out of you.
Yeah.
So you do have a need to generate more income.
Sometimes you can go and get obsessed.
Yeah, the first need is you got to recognize gambling's a big fat lie. Yeah, so obsessed.
Yeah, sometimes you can get obsessed. If you are sick and tired of getting sick and tired with your addiction, and you're stuck and you feel hopeless, start using your creative mind to say, you know what, how can I go ahead and get myself out of this hole? Maybe you can go and think, oh, maybe I can go ahead and get some roommates and rent out my rooms. Maybe I can go ahead and move back in with my parents or a sister or brother, and I can go ahead and give a little bit of money, but save more money. Then I can go out and then I'll go get an extra job. I'll work double shifts, get so busy. And then you start thinking, well, how else can I go ahead and make money and save money? You know what? Oh, you know what? I'm going to go to the farmer's market and get a bunch of cheap groceries, produce. I'm going to go get the day old chicken over at the grocery store, not the fresh cooked. They sell it half off there.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just start getting obsessed about like money. How can I save money? How can I become like start learning, on YouTube, all the preppers and how people save money, Oh, I don't need so can I go ahead and cut my utility bills? How else can I do that? What about gas?
You
Maybe
can
I
even go off the grid if you can, right?
Yeah.
If you can find a way, you got a piece of land somewhere.
And then you start doing it, you start gathering the money, you start saving the money, and you get that success, You say, oh wow, look at it. It's piling up. Who we're talking to, was it that person? I can't move my mouse right now. But he was saying, what do I do? What do I do? Well, you can do something, You can start making a choice.
Yeah, watcher. It's
Yeah.
really about hanging. It's about association. It really is. You can sell digital products. You can go online. I mean, it's gotten different. It's gotten more challenging. I will say that because there's a lot of people going online and there's more technology taking over. Yet you can do that. There's ways to make money. There are ways. It takes a little bit of time. It takes effort. It might take a little bit of money to make money online, doing a digital product and believe me, I'm in it too.
Take advantage of government grants and government subsidies.
Some things take time, and
offers.
sometimes you just keep losing. Sometimes you do. You just can't. You keep trying to figure it out, which is the right way, and you just keep going. It feels like I'm going nowhere. It doesn't feel like I really accomplished much. Oh man, I feel like I've gotten somewhere, but then it didn't go anywhere. Now it's like you got to keep going. You got to keep going through all of that. You just got to keep going. You got to believe in what it is that you're doing, and regardless of the outcome, I guess it's not about the destination. It's about the progress. It's about changes and who you become during that journey.
Yeah,
because there's somebody that you need to become. And another thing is that we don't think about, if you're somebody that wants to make large amounts of money, you have to become a different type of thinker. You have to become a different thinker. If you've never had large amounts of money and that's what you want, you have to train your mind. You have to first train your brain. You got to work on yourself, because if you don't, you'll get that load. You won't be able to, it'll go right back to where it came from. So it's about change. It's about vision. It's about wanting more. Right? You're feeling the pain. This sucks. I hate being here. Like Jim said earlier, I hate being here. It sucks. I hate being broke. I hate lying. I don't like hiding from my landlord or my mortgage people. I don't like hiding from them. I hate running.
You got to go and decide. You got to decide. I'm going to do whatever it takes. You leave your pride behind, right? You leave the shoulds and I should do this. Should happen. That should happen. This ought to happen. That ought to happen. No, you leave all that stuff behind. You say, I'm going to do whatever it takes to turn this thing around. I'm going to work 2 jobs, 3 jobs. I don't care. I'm going to go ahead
Yeah,
and do whatever it takes.
whatever it takes.
Focus. This is going to be my focus.
Yeah.
I mean, like, some people say, yeah, getting obsessed of money is not good. In a way, I guess it's not, but I mean,
If you're broke, it is.
getting obsessed with losing money, that's not good. Obsessed with losing money, that's not good,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, and you have to go and think, it does kind of make you a better person if you can go out and find ways to make more money. I understand that you need to take care of your family, you got to take care of your health, right? But hey, if you can't make any money, how can you take care of your family?
Yeah.
How can you
We
take care of yourself?
we just paid, well, actually, I just paid, the mission just paid $120, right? We don't think $120 is much, but in order for me to keep this live stream going, $120 is not a lot. But again, it's money that's needed. Money that's needed for the mission, money that's needed to support others. And by the way, if you're new here and you're not subscribed to this channel, you should subscribe. I'm going to recommend that you subscribe, turn your notifications to all. We're going to be here on Wednesdays and Sundays, 7:30, Lord willing, 7:30 to about 45 minutes or so, live, interactive. So you're welcome to, you can ask your question, make a statement, and get better. Because I'll tell you, if you're not getting better, what is the use of being a part of something? Or what is the use of reading a book, making a mantra, making a prayer, using a journal, getting rid of limiting beliefs or focus thieves? What is it if you gotta want something, you gotta want more, you gotta want better, you gotta want it, you gotta want better. Right? If not, we're coming here, we're wasting our time. And I definitely don't want to waste anybody's time. I don't know how you guys feel, but I don't like my time being wasted. I don't like it at all. And I definitely would not want to waste anybody else's time. So we've come to the end of the broadcast here. Thank you for hanging out with us. We've come to the end of the broadcast. We've thrown out some ideas. Hopefully you got an idea. Well, if you didn't get an idea, then you weren't thinking hard enough with us. Because you're the smartest person, right? You're smartest person. So we need resources. We need community like this one. We need folks like us to hang out with every once in a while. We don't want to hang out with us too much. We get tired of them. So there's all kinds of ideas. You have ideas. Starting a business, getting a second job, getting into sales, seeking resource and believing. One way to generate more income is to stop the gamble. Because when you stop the gamble, you're going to save money. And when you save money, that's saving time, saving money, that can go towards other making money projects. So in essence, you are generating more income when you stop the gamble. You're saving more too. So what is my call to action today, this wonderful Sunday, episode number 365? We're going to be back here again Sunday and Wednesday. If I didn't mention it, double up on it. 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Here's my call to action. My call to action is for more solutions, join this community. For more solutions, join this community. We're live on Sundays. We're live on Wednesdays. That's my call to action. Jim, last words?
Just want to go. It looks like City by the Bay asked a question. Is having a bad luck real or is it delusion? They says, I hear it, like good luck is where your preparation, meets opportunity, something like that. Bad luck, I guess bad luck, I guess that's just a situation that happens and it's how you deal with it. I mean, it's a message, right? It could help you. It could be good luck. Bad luck could be good luck, in a way, because it could go out and turn the way you think about things around.
Every problem has every thorn bush has a rose in it. There might be other flowers in that thorn bush, but it's prickly as hell, though. That's for sure.
Yeah. And one last thing, I want to go ahead and encourage people to go out and go with this this thought process. I choose, I can, I do, I am. I choose. We all have the ability to choose, right? Be conscientious, be aware that we all have a choice of how we see things, right? How are we looking at things? Are we looking at things, that move us in a good direction or a bad direction? We have that choice, right? Right? I can do stuff. I can do what it takes, right? I can do it, right? Take the action, and then you become that better person. Be that better person. So it's important. We all have that choice. We have a choice of saying, you know what, no more. We have that choice, right? Of saying, I'm going to go and get myself out of this pit. I don't care what happens, right?
That's right. That's right. And with that said, folks, we can get ourselves out of the pit, just like Jim said. So, with that said, thank you for hanging out. Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. We're going to be back here, Lord willing, Wednesday. Lord willing, we'll be back here Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then we'll be back on Sunday, Lord willing. All right. So, City by the Bay, thank you for hanging out. Hopefully you got, if you ask a question, listen, folks, if you have a question and you feel that maybe we're not digging enough, you got to provide some information here too, because we're not mind readers. And we want to make sure that if we are trying to give you a solution or a step, we're trying to provide something that we want to provide it that it would be helpful, right? Not a stumbling block. It's one thing to give information to somebody and it becomes a stumbling block in their life. What good was that? So with that said, we will end the program tonight, the broadcast. City by the Bay, Laura, India. Let me just say India because Barry, Bob, Mark. We get Eric in here. Barry, Bob was with us. Good to see you. Watcher. Hopefully you gotten something out of this. You come back again. People come through here and then they leave and they don't give themselves enough credit. They don't give themselves enough time to recover. You got it. You gotta, man. Don't be so hard on yourself. All right, folks. With that said, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, will I see you at the top? Will I see you at the top? Jim, thank you for hanging out.
Thanks, Santos. You have a great week. I'll see you on Wednesday.
Yeah, Lord willing. Lord willing. We'll see you.
Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.